Ito nga, paano ba dapat katakutan ito ng
mga komunista? Dapat lang. At ito ang talagang magiging tinik sa kanilang lalamunan at hindi natin papayagan na ang mga komunistang terorista na nagkukunwaring party list ay makapasok pa sa Kongreso. Kaya kami tumatakbo na hindi pwede ang liquidation by certification. Yung Joint House and Senate Resolution number 10 must be abolished. So kung hindi man kami nila papanigan, at least ang taong bayan alam nila na nanindigan tayo. Number 2, isusulong natin na lahat ng mga tumatakbong kandidato at mga political parties, including party list, ay dapat pumirma ng General Declaration Waiver na lalabanan nila at itatakwil nila ang communist terrorism, ang CPP, NPA, NDF at lahat ng mga violent extremism. Pag hindi sila pumirma sa declaration na yan, hindi sila pwedeng tanggapan o hindi sila pwedeng matanggap ang kanilang mga certificate of candidacy. Dapat linisan natin ang party list system. Agree ako sa sinasabi ni Senate President Chis Escudero. Hindi dapat ang party list ay backdoor ng mga politiko, oligarko, kontraktor at mga ganid na mga abusadong politiko na ginagamit nila para ikutan ng batas. At pangalawa, kailangan din po na palakasin natin ang Barangay Development Program upang nang sa ganun po hindi magkaroon ng gap for development ang ating mga kanayunan at mga barangay na dating pinugaran ng CPP, NPA, NDF. At ang pang-apat naming panawagan, kailangan po pati ang Kongreso ino-audit ng COA at nire-report din po ang lahat ng expenditures at nililinaw dapat ito na hindi sila exempted ang Kongreso na maging transparent sa lahat ng pondo. Isa yan sa isusulong natin at of course, mas panalakasin natin ang advokasya para doon sa hindi po digmaan at tapang-tapangan ang dapat na patakaran sa West Philippine Sea. We will pass resolution encouraging diplomatic and dialogue lines of foreign interaction sa China. Hindi po yung mali at baluktot na panawagan na magtapang-tapangan at magdigma-digmaan. We have to have a dialogue and transparent foreign relations sa iba pang mga bansa. Susuportahan namin yan sa ipanaw sambayanan. At lalo na po ang panawagan panghuli na ang mga katutubong pamayanan na hindi na muling balikan ng CPP, NPA, NDF, dapat palakasin po ang pagbaba ng development at ng mga pangangalaga ng gobyerno sa hanay ng mga katutubong pamayanan at mga tribo.
Ito nga, paano ba dapat katakutan ito ng
mga komunista? Dapat lang. At ito ang talagang magiging tinik sa kanilang lalamunan at hindi natin papayagan na ang mga komunistang terorista na nagkukunwaring party list ay makapasok pa sa Kongreso. Kaya kami tumatakbo. They are the main target ng ating paglalantad at mga pagbubunyag at dapat maiangat ang kamalayan ng mga mamamayan na hindi tayo malinlang sa panloloko ng propaganda at maniobra ng mga communist terrorist urban operatives kagaya ng party list na ginagamit nila.
Sir, ano pong number ng...
Number 18 sa balota po.
18 yan.
At kami po ay naninindigan na hindi po kami inutusan lamang para bumili ng suka para maging parmili.
Isa na itatanong namin.
So klaro ha. Maraming salamat at sana may masmasan si Marcos Jr. that even his senatorial candidates refuse na gamitin ang kanyang cheap, unprincipled, irresponsible na uri ng mga pananalita. Not one of their candidates sa lineup ni Marcos ang sumunod sa kanyang mga very cheap na mga bad propaganda operations. Magbayad muna siya ng buwis na 203 billion pesos at explain niya saan napunta ang 60 billion na kinuha nila sa PhilHealth at bakit zero budget ang PhilHealth at bakit ibinenta ang 25 tons of gold ng Pilipinas na umaabot sa 129 billion pesos. Magpaliwanag muna siya saan napunta ang 1.3 trillion pesos sa 2 taon na mga bulok at palpak na mga flood control project na kinurakot nila bago siya magtapang-tapangan sa kanyang pananalita. Hindi bagay, wala sa wastong katinuan, very unpresidential, irresponsible, and unprincipled kind of statements coming from a president. Thank you po.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you,
sir.
They just posted my name sa media and that's the only time I was made aware that I'm included on those 40 social media users that are invited by the House of Representatives on their probe about fake news. So, since wala akong natanggap na formal invitation, I asked Joey to show it to me and I found out that the purpose as to why they're having the probe to begin with is due to the privileged speech of Ace Barbers, labeling all of us as narco-bloggers, Pogo Paid, and Bagong Makapili. There is no discussion as to what constitutes being a Bagong Makapili, or there is no proof showing that we are paid by narco politicians or even Pogo. I myself has no any link with Pogo operators, so how can I possibly be paid by them? So that's the first question I raised on one of my posts sa social media. Secondly, biglang nagbago. Ang privileged speech ni Ace Barbers ay about ngayon sa narco-bloggers, Pogo Paid, and Bagong Makapili. But then eventually, they changed the subject matter to fake news, which I myself is irrelevant. Why? Because in the first place, I am not writing news. I am writing my political opinions, which is within the constitutionally protected speech natin. So yun, tinatanong ko din, dapat they should clarify what really constitutes fake news and how does it differ to political opinions. Because if they regulate fake news by targeting us who are only writing our political opinions, they are indirectly suppressing our freedom of speech. Tama? Kasi they are converting our opinions as news. So that's the harm that I have seen sa probe ni Dan Fernandez about this subject matter. Secondly, Maria Ressa, a Nobel Peace Prize awardee in 2021, she was caught lying in the international media saying that ABS-CBN has 11 million employees. Why is she not invited? Her inputs, her knowledge about fake news sana ay the best tool for the HOR to craft better policies or to regulate well the use of social media platforms or experience. Secondly, last year, Richard Hidarian, he posted that by December, the ICC will arrest former President Rodrigo Duterte. It did not happen. Does that constitute fake news? Now, if it does constitute fake news, why is Richard Hidarian not invited by the HOR? Ito yung point ko. If the HOR is really serious on their probe about fake news, why are they only targeting pro-Duterte voices? So this, I think, in my own opinion, is a targeted political maneuver. We know for a fact that within the week, the SecGen will transmit the impeachment raps against VP Sara, the 3 impeachment raps against VP Sara. Secondly, just this week, they declared food emergency. And just today, the Supreme Court notified Speaker Romualdez, Chis Escudero, Senate President, and the Office of the President to comment on the petition filed by Attorney Vic Rodriguez and Congressman Ungab about the GAA, the blank spaces. Now, if you look at the timing, it's very glaring. They are trying to silence us so that we would not be able to write about all these important issues. So this is not just about what we did right now, the filing of petition in the Supreme Court is not evasion of, or we're not evading accountability. We are fighting them because we don't want to be ruled by felons. You know what I mean? Because kanina lang, ang ano ni Joey, ang letter pa lang niya, contemptible na. So is that their goal? To contempt us? On their invitation, ang sinabi nila, we will invite you because we need to hear your knowledge about the subject matter. Now, how come na ang maging basehan nila ay yung for contempt is yung letter ni Joey. If they really want us to share our knowledge about fake news, then dapat, di ba, they should hear us. There should be no threat of us being cited in contempt. We are private individuals. We are not politicians. We are working on a daily basis. So with them detaining us or with them citing us in contempt, they are also cutting our ability to earn. Or they are suppressing, aside from suppressing our freedom of speech, they are also para attacking our, our personal life. So yun lang, because we are private individuals. So, for me, to wrap up everything, this is a targeted harassment. This is a targeted political maneuver. And this is not really about fake news probe, because they already did this in 2017, 7 years ago. They should have, implemented better rules and regulations now, but they did not. So now they are sparkling this conversation again because they are trying to hide or conceal something that's better or more important than what we are currently facing. Yan lang po. Magandang hapon po sa inyo.
Hello everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Joey Cruz, also known as Joie de Vivre. French name. Ayan. There are several revelations today, and it confirms our hunches that the goal of the House of Representatives, the joint committee that handled the committee hearing, calling us to appear, to share our knowledge on matters that were raised by Rep. Barbers last December 4 and December 16. Saying that there are makapili vloggers, narco-vloggers, and vloggers being paid by Pogo operators. On December 16, Rep. Barbers called on law enforcement groups to investigate malicious vloggers and shows and to act on any cybercrime that they would see. It is very clear. The goal of the House of Representatives is to silence us, put us in jail, or if not, cite us in contempt, and God knows gaano kami katagal ilalagak dyan sa facility ng HOR. Worse, baka dalhin kami sa facility ng regular jails. And that is something that I cannot accept. Unang-una, yung mga subject matter na nilatag nila doon sa invitation nila, sabaw na sabaw. And, the message is this: we are not stupid. We are common citizens, but we are not stupid. There are so many things that were revealed today. How power tripper the House of Representative members in that committee, including Rep. Benny Abante, who, by the way, wanted to, open the conversation of me being put in contempt, being cited in contempt, merely because I mentioned that I have no knowledge about being a paid vlogger by drug money or Pogo operators. My excuse was that since I have nothing to share, and if I have nothing to share, I am of no use to whatever goal that you wanted to achieve in that committee. And so, if I will go there and I'm going to be accommodated by the facility of the House of Representatives, sayang na kuryente sa akin. Wala naman akong alam doon sa topic na gusto nilang pag-usapan. And so, I told the committee that me declining their invitation is coming from deep concern on the prudent utilization of public resources. How can you cite me in contempt if I am just concerned sa pera ng bayan. This actually revealed a very nonchalant attitude of our of the members of the House of Representatives. Wala kayong pakialam sa pera namin. Imbis na hinahanap nyo kung sinong naglagay ng nag-fill in ng blanco sa bicameral committee para magkaalaman tayo dito kung paano nyo binuo yung 2025 national budget, ang pinagkakaabalahan nyo kami at ang excuse letter namin. Is that fair? Now, again, it's very clear. This is harassment. This is to silence us. This is really to make us feel intimidated and for us not to talk about public issues. And it can't happen. As a private citizen, ang bala na lang natin, boses natin. And they want that taken away from us, from me.